Who really, and Ben Dowling is an Aussie Sevens rep. We're underway. It is Australia taking on Fiji in the Oceania Under-20s Championship. A bit of a hack there, but it goes down now to the captain, Mac Greeley, in the white headgear. It's a good field position early on for the junior Wallabies. And a good carry by Omone. John, good delivery. And wide they go. The pass that time from Blake wasn't a good one. And so we're going to be called up for the first scrum of the match.
And a great start there from the Australian side. Getting some good field position and executing well. 9 and 10, Worshin and Bowen looking sharp early on. An opportunity now for them to apply a fair bit of pressure for the first scrum of the afternoon.
A lot of pressure on this Australian 8 today after worked over a bit by the Argentinians in the first game. So it's Paddy Tague, Max Craig and Sifa Amoni in the front row. A scrum feed though for Sova for Fiji. They'll try and work it out of their own half. This is Nawai. One of the big locks we spoke about pre-game, Wakeham from the Stade Francais. He's in the academy side in France. Not really going anywhere at the moment, so they put it on the toe, kicking it straight into the legs of one of the Australians, and there's the first penalty.
Bit of frustration there from Tuisese. Couldn't quite get that kick through and absolutely launched himself into Jack Bowen off the ball. So Australia now in prime position with points available, but we see them kick for the corner.
So Bowen, the flying half, finds touch. 12 or so metres out. What a moment for the 18-year-old. First year in the Australian Under-20s. Already has played first grade for East in Sydney. Craig finds the tall timber. Terrific opportunity here for the junior Wallabies. And there's one of the Wallabies being dumped there on his head, so we might have to have another look at that one. The tackle from Wakeham. Here's the penalty, and yep. Angus, maybe we'll have a look at this one.
Damo, time off, we're coming to you. Got a dangerous tackle against by 5 white. On that yellow card, I just want to confirm that there's nothing more.
So yellow card
for you now.
is the call at the moment. But they'll take a look at it through the TMO. Chollam Johnson.
Did you see anything? Here's the first
Looks like
angle coming up.
Seve here is lifted up and absolutely dumped on his head by Wakeham.
Well, fortunately, his hands took the brunt of the tackle.
So you'd think we'd probably stay out of yellow.
Yeah, I'm just a yellow card.
Yeah, it's yellow all day.
Number 5.
So not the start that Gennaro Wakeham was looking for.
Dangerous tackle.
So they're down a man, Fiji. And it will give the young Aussies a terrific attacking opportunity again.
You'd think they'd set up here for a nice rolling maul. Through some little bit of success they had in that first game against Argentina. The new pack here.
Max Craig from the Queensland Reds throws to the line out and finds the target again. They set it up nicely. Pops out the back though. Urchin, the inside ball to Vaihu. They were waiting for him down that channel though. It'll come back for Urchin again. A little bit of luck there through the hands of one of the players. Fell nicely though. And they look for quick ball. Bowen fires it out. There is the first try. Too big, too strong. Jaden Blake. Nice little pass from Bowen. Very confident start by Australia. They lead by 5 points to 0.
Yeah, and a fantastic start there by the Aussies, but really crisp, sharp passing, and just a little bit of time on the ball from both the halfback in immersion and Jack Bowen. Fantastic to set up that man there, Jaden Blake, for his first of the afternoon. And what a fantastic start for this young Australian side, with Fiji down to 14 men.
Very good start indeed. Blake from the Waratahs, crashing over. He was the 2019 Country New South Wales Junior Player of the Year. Big and strong. Ex-Dubbo Roos. So they'll be pretty happy in Dubbo about that one.
Bo Robinson will be down there. He'll be cheering for the young man, Jaden Blake. A good start there by Jack Bowen as well. Just holding it up at the line.
What about his pedigree? The number 10. Father is Scott Bowen, a Wallaby. His grandfather, the tennis great, Tony Roach. Great bloodline.
It certainly is.
And the first attempt is out to the left. So the try scorer, Jaden Blake. Another look at it here. They've had all the territory early on, Australia. Fiji a man down. And they couldn't do much about that. 5-0. Jermaine Little with the restart for Fiji. He's got a good pedigree as well. His dad was a flying Fijian, Lawrence Little, and his cousin is Neki Little, a legend in Fiji rugby. And that's a great restart. Semi Ngita getting through there. Pick and go now. Nairal, the captain again. Ngita. Through the hands of Nairal, but fell nicely for Little. And now it is Nuku. The offload was starting to happen, but then just couldn't control it. The offloading game. And that one finds touch over on the far side as well. So we got a glimpse of what the Fijians are capable of in and around the ruck. They don't mind throwing that Hail Mary, that 50-50 pass, and doesn't always stick.
It certainly doesn't, but they got some good continuity there. And they also got a big bullocking front row forward, as well as some good locks. And we see it here, a good interchange. A couple of nice passes there, but Paddy Tagg, what a fantastic shot there, coming across in defence.
Great to see the supporters putting up with the rather cold conditions and wet conditions on the Sunshine Coast. Petro Mailulu taking it into contact. Loose ball there, but now the penalty will go against Fiji.
Another opportunity for young Jack Bowen to push his team deep inside Fiji's half. And an excellent opportunity, or a great place to attack from. Good little shot there underneath from young Hoff, Zach Hoff there, and over the top with the turnover of Monet.
This is Hoff now. Go to the left. Rochon picks out Greeley. And it is Dowling. It gets it back into Craig. Good work on the left-hand flank. And advantages being played here as Hoff takes them on again. The Junior Wallabies with the kick through now from Bowen. And Greeley will pick it up and score a fantastic try. Great work by the 10-15 combination. Bowen with the kick and Greeley with the try.
And Jack Bowen here, what a fantastic set of hands he showed early on. But then the vision to look in behind the fullback, making a tackle earlier on and setting up his fullback there in Matt Greeley.
Just wants it confirmed by the TMO. Just looking for the onside, possibly.
Just having a look at
Another angle now.
Jaden Blake here to see if he's in front of the kicker.
And Greeley was onside.
Here it is, one more. Angus, we've got nothing conclusive here.
So no conclusive evidence that he's in an offside position, so therefore try stands.
Correct.
Thank you.
It is a try, the second try for Australia. 10-0 with the kick to come from right in front.
So we see there again, Jack Bowen, fantastic set of hands. And then to execute that beautifully weighted grubber to set up his captain in, Matt Greeley. He started the game very well, has Jack Bowen.
There's the extra 2. 12 points to 0. Fiji were able to stem the flow of points early on against New Zealand in week 1, but this is not the start the Fijians were looking for. The Aussies off to a flyer. 9 gone and it's 12-0. Tremaine Little. And this one will just go to the 10. It'll come back for Wochon. Also Wonga running it back in great defence. Good tackle from Watts. And the Junior Wallabies drive over. Terrific work at the breakdown by Thua. Went backwards and Wochon not able to clean that one up. Picked up by Nuku. He goes to ground. And we see what the Fijians could do as they just work their way inside Australian territory through Murray. Nairal over the top of Pullman. Murray. Amoni at the first grab. And then a loose pass cleaned up by Mitch Watts. So the Fijians not doing themselves so many favours at the moment. Ball in hand. Another kick downtown from Bowen. Kaisau. Not out. Greeley. And Bowen. Nice score of Blake. Firing it over to Dowling. Tries to chip over the top. Doesn't come off. Fiji ball. Here's the penalty. A relieving penalty for Fiji. They'll appreciate some possession inside Australian territory again, Dallin.
Yeah, they certainly will. They've defended quite well there. And now with an opportunity to get deep inside Australia's half and potentially release some of these exciting outside backs they've got. First real opportunity for them for the game.
Still a man down. The carry from Gelevu.
Max Craig there, just not supporting his weight at the breakdown. Just couldn't quite force the turnover.
So George Pullman receiving some treatment. Lower leg injury by the look of things. From the Western Force. Went to King's School in Sydney though, played for Sydney Uni, New South Wales under-18s before he headed to the Western Force into the Pathway program in WA. So we have a look at the bench for Australia. Marker Brown, Clark, Kellen, Mayava, Wilson, Teddy Wilson, son of former Wallaby captain David Wilson, Lucas Ripley from the Rebels, Floyd Aubrey, who's an excitement machine.
Fair amount of talent sitting on that bench there. Super Rugby experience in Mayava and Lucas Ripley there, and Floyd Aubrey sitting on the bench for the Reds this year. Not quite getting on, but a fair amount of experience there to come on in the second half.
Pullman is okay. Shot of Scott Bowen there, the former Wallaby. No real room for the Fijian backs, but I don't mind taking it into contact. Good run from Malachi Nawai initially from the 12 jersey. Nairau. Another good carry. Sova. Look left and goes to the right. Oh wow. Big defence on Saula Gialevu by the Australians, and they forced the mistake.
Another great shot there from Paddy Tagg. Look at this run here by Nawai. Fantastic opportunity there early. Big, strong carry. Bullocking through the centre. Beat a couple of tackles on his way through. Look to see a lot more of him later in this game. But Paddy Tagg, Wooshka again, getting off the line. That's two absolute shots. Really making his presence known.
So 13 minutes gone, 12-0 Australia over Fiji. And Fiji now back to the full complement, or will be very shortly. Yeah, he has returned. Wakeham, he's out there.
It's a man mountain, isn't he?
Nick Henderson, the forwards coach for the Australian under-20s, will be much happier with this start by the Wallaby pack against Fiji. Dowling picked up and driven back in the tackle. John finding Faithua. And this one overcooked out on the full.
He'd be disappointed with that, will Louis Wershen. Just couldn't quite get that. Slicing it off the side of the boot. What a good run here by Ben Dowling. Recently selected in the Commonwealth Games team, compete in the sevens. He's got electric feet. And Millie there getting the best of this Fijian outside defence.
Luku goes to the front. Won by the junior Wallabies. Tagg has a run. No, it wasn't. It was Craig. And now the turnover. And big De Niro Wakeham. Fiji take it into the 22. Little. Nawai. It's unfortunate. Unable to control the pass.
Just had a look there, Nawai. Was plenty of space in front of him. Couldn't quite execute. Another opportunity.
Well, this is unfortunate for George Pullman. He stayed out there. Whatever the injury is, he tried to run it out, but it's not his night. So what a replacement though. Lucas Ripley coming on. Plays for the Rebels. Product of the BBC school, Brisbane Boys College, before heading to the Rebels.
What a debut season he had for the Rebels. Scoring a hat-trick in one of his games. I think it's 5 or 6 tries for the year. It's a bit of a revelation towards the back end of the season for them, and a supreme talent they have on their hands there.
Louis Wichon puts it in and takes it out. Bowen wants to play it at the other end. Saba Katholo. Wichon makes the first tackle. And there's the turnover, the penalty.
First up shot there by Louis Wichon. I think it was Vahu over the top, forcing the turnovers. They go quickly.
And why not when you've got Ripley out there, fresh legs, and Greeley is up from fullback, but the pass goes astray, loose in the end. Just trying to catch Fiji napping there, using the speedsters out wide.
And they did a good job. I'd just like to see them hold on to that ball in those wider channels. A few times they've tried to put the ball in behind after they've made some good ground. I'd like to see them keep it in, recycle, and then go again.
Fatima Nuku. It's loose. And that's great work. Running onto it was Matandingo. An Australian player in an offside position there. Trying to get back onside. It's a penalty to Fiji.
Starting to get a bit of a roll on with some good strong carries first half. If Fiji can get some continuity and hold on to the ball for multiple phases, might be able to string together a couple of points.
And just like their senior teams, whether it's the Flying Fijians, the Fijian Drua or Fijiana Drua, if they can gain some confidence, anything can happen. We know that they love to play with flair and passion. They have plenty of ability. It's just trying to make those passes stick. Good two-handed take from Gilevu. Oh, a rampaging run, and there's the offload, and then it's play on. Flirting with a bit of danger there. Osawonga in the end. Taking the tackle. And playing advantage there, so Sova thought he'd try the little kick in behind. Didn't come off, but they get the penalty again.
And the opportunity comes. They'll drive this deep inside Australia's half and look for a couple of their big ball carriers coming off this line out to really set a pace for them.
That's a good touch finder by Fiji. 19 gone at Sunshine Coast Stadium. Australia leading by 12 points to 0.
Seen a lot of Mailulu the last couple of times in carrying the ball. Started to really assert his dominance on this game.
Here's a great opportunity, but I'll put the mocker on them because they turn it over immediately. I'm not quite sure what they were thinking there. Obviously, looking at eyes for the ball. And we're going to have a scrum now after that knock on.
There was a knock on, scrum.
Saman Gita, the captain, is asking the question there. Saying there was a gold hand in there. Might have been right.
And rightly so. Like Konoseve there, getting his hands on the ball and forcing the turnover.
Good scrum. Blake. Lurchin back to Bowen. There's plenty of time. It's not out. The fullback, Saba Katholo. Penalty goes against Fiji again. Good work at the breakdown by the Australians.
Max Craig there, straight on top of the ball. I think his second turnover of the game. A wonderful effort there from him. East Tigers clubman in Brisbane. Jack Bowen, just putting his team 30 metres out. Great place to launch an attack.
To Craig. To the back, straight down to Word-John. And Watts. And the kick through. And it will sit up nicely for Australia. And David Vaihu from the Melbourne Rebels gets the try.
Fantastic shoe there. In behind from Mac, really summed it up perfectly. Beautifully weighted kick. An exceptional finish from David Vaihu. You see there, really takes it to the line wonderfully. Jack Bowen just knocked off there, but Vaihu finishes perfectly. What a wonderful third try for the Australians.
Greeley up from fullback. As I had a nice hand in it. In the end, it was a boot. A great kick. And they are happy.
Certainly are. Obviously identified during the week that there's a fair amount of space in behind the Fijians. 2 tries now from little grubbers in behind, especially close to their line. So perfectly executed from the Australians, and they'll be happy with their third try of the evening.
It's Bowen. One from 2 so far as the rain continues to fall. Kawana on the Sunshine Coast. And this one will head out to the left. So it stays 17-0 Australia over Fiji. All smiles there, and why not?
Certainly David Vaihu, brother of Glenn, who had a breakout season for the Melbourne Rebels down there. Both extreme talents, products of Gregory Terrace up here in Brisbane. We'll be happy with his start.
From the West Bulldogs as well. So another restart from Tremaine Little. No way through there for Faithua. Omone. Outside the 22. The side of the boot at that time. So 24 gone, 17-0. Fiji looking for their first points of the match. He scored the 1 try in the round 1 game against New Zealand. Beaten on that occasion by 74 points to 5. And the Junior All Blacks remain unbeaten, knocking over Argentina 32-9 in the earlier game. So it's 2 from 2 for New Zealand. Another penalty to Australia.
Ruckered form there, and the Fijians just with their hands all over it, just relieving the pressure and allowing Australia to get out of their own half very, very easily. We saw this a little bit on Friday. We need to rectify that and try not to piggyback teams all the way down the park.
Max Craig with the throw-in. Again, a good line out by the junior Wallabies. Having a run in midfield was Hoff, and the offload was good. Back to Watts. Good clean out as well. Hoff again. Up to the 22. By Thua. Seve helps with the clean out. Bowen. Good hands. Blake. Almost stealing it there, Fiji.
Off feet there again, the Fijians. I think Jack Bowen will go to the line here. We'll see this rolling maul as we see the rain start to really pelt it down.
Technically release, off feet there, okay?
Semengita just having a chat to his forwards, giving away far too many penalties. And Craig. Now the release. Good John getting it out to Blake. He's already scored one try. Real pressure on the Fijian line now. This is Faifua, the petty Faifua. Held up a metre or so out. That's better work at the breakdown that time by Fiji, saving the day, forcing the penalty.
Certainly was. Ngir Levu there, getting over the top of the ball and a fantastic turnover just in front of his goalpost to relieve the pressure for Fiji.
Kevueli Savakatholo will find touch.
Fantastic work there, straight on the ball was Ngir Levu.
Saving the day. You can see the junior Wallabies are only a metre or so out. Petimo Nuku from the Army Club in Suva. Throwing into the line-out. Slap back by Murray. Falls nicely. Matandingo.
The strap initially was fine, and then you knocked it on. It's a scrum, white ball.
Well, it's very slippery up there.
It certainly is. It's not quite as bad as it was on Friday, but the conditions are starting to worsen.
The Aussies have been able to control things pretty well. Territory going their way.
Yeah, they certainly
Possession.
have themselves in some key positions and just not quite able to get over on a few occasions, but have executed the game very well so far.
Jonathan Sovasova puts it in, and a big shove coming from Australia, and they earn the penalty. Well, that's going to be a real confidence boost for the pack. Found the game pretty tough early on against Argentina, conceding 2 penalty tries to Argentina. The scrum got a real work over, but Nick Henderson obviously has done some work, and of course they've made some changes up front as well.
They certainly have, and they'll be very happy with how they've started this game up front. A lot of pressure coming at scrum time, and they're getting one against the head. Fantastic turnover. Now they're in a position just 5 metres out from Fiji's line.
Jessling from Australia, assistant referee. Again, Max Craig finds the target. They've got some momentum here. The junior Wallabies press towards the line. Still controlling it there is Max Craig, but now they release, and Blake to Bowen. Thought about kicking, got it out to Greeley. Got the one-handed pass away to the flyer in the corner, Ben Dowling, and the Sevens specialist gets a try in 15s. Well, what a day for Ben Dowling. He's got a try for the Australian under-20s, and he's been named in the Australian Commonwealth Games Sevens team for 2022.
A fantastic effort there, but it's the lead-up work here from Captain Matt Greeley. Sums it up beautifully, and it's a little left-handed out the back pass to set up his winger. Beautiful execution here. Really skips to the outside. It's a beautiful pass. He holds him up wonderfully and sets up Ben Dowling to score his first of the afternoon, and what a day he has had.
He's heading to Birmingham for the Commonwealth Games, playing for Australia. A couple of interesting names in there as well. Samu Karevi, who was rather special for the Wallabies against England in the first test in Perth on the weekend. Mark Nwanganitawase, who is with the Australian A team at the moment. He'll also be playing some sevens at the Com Games. And the conversion attempt is not successful again. Tough night for the kickers.
A huge addition is Samu Karevi to that Australian seven side. We saw how good he was at the Olympics last year. The physicality and directness he brought really helped them.
You can imagine him being in midfield in sevens and having a flyer like Ben Dowling on the outside, or Mark Nwanganitawase or Josh Turner. Looking forward to seeing the Australians and the Fijians and the New Zealanders at the Commonwealth Games sevens, starting at the end of July in the UK, Birmingham. So 22 points to nil. That was a half-time score in the match between New Zealand and Fiji. So can the Fijians stem the flow of points for the remaining 7.5 minutes in the first half here? Quick throw in. And there's the kick from Bowen, and eventually into touch.
A fantastic piece of play there from Jack Bowen. First up was a nicely executed kick from Louis Wershen. Then the quick play, and Jack Bowen executes this kick wonderfully. Put the pressure on them, a skimming ball, always tough in the wet. Mistakes there from the Fijian outside backs. And Kiso.
To Craig. Oh, wasted opportunity by the young Aussies. On by Fijian Kaisau. There's the man tackled. Wakeham, 5 out. Soba waits. Back in the pocket to Sabakatholo. And here's another attacking opportunity for the Australians. Wirchin. And big tackle coming in on Watts. That was great work by the Fijians. So Greeley comes off the side of the boot that time. Good contest in the air. It falls for Fiji. Tremaine Little is the one cleaning up. They go to the short side. Trying the kick. That was the man they call Ice. Isia to Assesi.
A couple little mistakes from both sides there. A couple of big shots from the Fijians. Gialevu there getting off the line and absolutely belting Mitch Watts. Great pressure from the Fijians.
Scrum 38 out from the Fiji line. Referee not happy with that mess. 5 minutes remaining, first half. Oceania Under-20s Championship. Day 2, second match in our double header. Both teams looking for their first win of the tournament. And we're all looking forward to Sunday. Final round. Australia will play New Zealand, the unbeaten New Zealand, 2 from 2 so far, the Junior All Blacks. Fiji will finish their championship with a clash against Argentina. Good tap taken by Jonathan Sova. Vilakisa Nairau. By that time, Geetha left it behind. No advantage, so they'll play the knock on.
An opportunity now, midfield for the Australians. A wonderful place to attack from. Love to see them come the right-hand side with a Greeley or a Vahu and give them a one-on-one. Greeley sets up in behind.
Yeah, they'll call the scrum again.
You guys just give me a stay straight picture? Yeah, quite clearly. You just
No doubt about it, all four nations thought they'd be heading to the Sunshine State, the Sunshine Coast, playing some dry weather rugby. But it hasn't been kind at the so far, the weather.
It's more like South Island, New Zealand. Cold and wet.
Bushon puts it in, takes it out, gives it to Bowen. The inside ball to Greeley. They keep it alive through Ripley and then Dowling on the 22. Tag. Bowen. Seve. And here is the first try scorer, Blake, but good defence on the outside centre. The offload was good from Connor Seve, but the defence was up to it. Now here's Greeley looking to get involved. And Dowling in again. Great pass from George Gibson. So Ben Dowling, you cannot give this man any room whatsoever. He's got a double.
Certainly can't. What a wonderful effort there from Ben Dowling again. Tiptoeing down the sideline. There's some wonderful lead-up work here from Lucas Ripley, showing a clean set of heels. And also George Gibson on that left edge. But Ben Dowling, what a start he's had this afternoon. We see Ripley here to skip a little bit to the outside, give Gibson a little bit of room, then Gibson just gives Dowling enough there. Tiptoes down the sideline, shows his speed and strength, and dots it over in the corner.
Some great finishing. And great assist from George Gibson and from Southern Districts in Sydney at the moment, but ex-BBC Brisbane as well, Reds Academy. Some of these youngsters move pretty early on in their career, don't they?
They certainly do. Happens a lot more these days. Plenty of opportunities for these young guys, and it's just great to see the opportunities again to pull on a jersey like this. We haven't seen it for the last couple of years, so give them the opportunity now to express themselves and represent their country is pretty special.
Jack Bowen has been very busy controlling things. Can he add the extras from out wide? And again, it's not successful. It's a tough night off the tee for Bowen, but it's looking good on the scoreboard for Australia. 27 points to 0. And an easy run in the end for Ben Dowling.
You can certainly see why he's part of that 7 setup. A wonderful finisher. Great balance on his feet.
He played 8 tournaments for the Aussie Sevens this year. 34 games in total. In fact, he scored 8 tries in 34 games. Hooter sounds. Little. One bounce into touch. And that is the end of the first half at Sunshine Coast Stadium. It is Australia leading Fiji by 27 points to 0. So 27 points to 0. Australia over Fiji. Second match in our big doubleheader at the Sunshine Coast Stadium. The Oceania Under-20s Championship. And no problems for Fiji. Hammered by New Zealand in the first game. And here we go after 40 minutes. Australia running in 5 tries so far. The first to Jaden Blake. Too big, too strong, close to the line. Comments from Dylan Murphy. He must have been impressed with that first half.
Yeah, it certainly was. I feel like this man here, Jack Bowen on screen, had a wonderful start to the game. A touch in a few of the first tries, but he just controlled the game wonderfully through his kick or just holding the ball up at the line, and they found some real pay out of a few nice little grubbers in behind.
And a great finish from the captain in this second match for Australia, Matt Greeley. And this time it was Greeley putting it on the toe, and finishing off was David Vaihu. So that was the third try, 17 points to nil at that stage. Good decision from Greeley, from Bowen, and just through the hands to Dowling, the 7 specialist. Greeley that time with the backhander found his man, who found the spot. And it wasn't long after that, Dallin, that it was Dowling with a little more space out wide as well after that great offload from George Gibson.
Yeah, certainly was. Was Ripley there, getting to the outside of his man, setting up Gibson with a bit of space, but then Ben Dowling, he doesn't need much room, as we saw in the first try, but a fantastic finish by him again.
So double to Dowling, 5 tries in all in the first half to Australia. Blake Greeley, Vaihu, the double to Dowling, 1 conversion on a tough night off the tee for Bowen and Fiji. Well, they conceded 22 points against New Zealand in the first half and ended up losing by 74 points to 5 on day 1. As we see some Junior Wallabies fans there putting up with the cold and the wet conditions. And there's that scoreline from day 1. New Zealand 74 to 5 over Fiji, and Australia going down by 3 had an opportunity to kick for a draw at the end. They decided to try and put it into the corner, kicked it dead, into touch in goal, and it was Argentina that held on to win that one. But earlier today, New Zealand made it 2 from 2 with a solid performance, 31 points to 9 over Argentina. And at half-time, Australia leading Fiji by 27 points to 0. And we're so used to seeing that, aren't we, at the various tournaments around the world, whether it's 7s or 15s, men and women, the Fijian emotion is amazing during their anthem. And there's the passion and the enthusiasm with the Thimby, the cultural challenge. Semi and Geetha, the front rower, leading the charge. They had a few bright moments, the Fijians, Dallin, but they just couldn't hold on to that last pass.
No, that's right. We saw them a few times early on in the game. There was some wonderful interchange of play between forwards and backs, but at the last minute they couldn't quite get that continuity and they turned the ball over.
Some big hits coming in from Paddy Tagg earlier on, and good meters and some good finishing from Ben Dowling. We've already mentioned that he's been named in the Australian Commonwealth Games Rugby Sevens team alongside the likes of Samu Karevi and Mark Nwanganitawasi, and the rest of the players have been regulars in the Sevens team this year, led by Nick Maloof. Nice long bottom, Henry Hutchison. And Greeley, he's injecting himself pretty well from fullback, and I'm sure that the Australian coach, Nathan Gray, and his assistants, Shannon Fraser and Nick Henderson, will be pretty happy with proceedings. I know the fans are pretty happy with that scoreline, 27 points to 0.
They certainly are, and what a start they've had, 27 unanswered points, but it's wonderful to see. We saw the same thing on Friday, so many people from the sunny coast getting out in tough conditions to support the Australians, the Fijians, the New Zealanders and the Argentinians. It's great for the sunny coast and for sunny coast rugby, so great to see so many young fans out here supporting these teams.
So 27-0 at half-time. Nathan Gray and his assistants, they made wholesale changes, and I guess that was always going to be the case because you're trying to give everyone an opportunity. We haven't seen the 20s in action for some time because of COVID. So he's made the multiple changes, and it's paid off so far, and it's going to be a tough ask to come up with the starting 15 to take on New Zealand on Sunday.
Yeah, it certainly will be. There'll be a few mainstays who I think will come straight back in, but you know, some guys are really putting up their hands in this game. I think Max Craig and Paddy Tagg have been very impressive up front. George Gibson's had some nice touches, so they're going to a few selection headaches on their hands.
But the scrum has held up well. Line out's been good, and we've seen what the backs can do with ball in hand.
Yeah, certainly. I think they'll be pleased up front, obviously setting an excellent platform for those backs. So much strike power out wide. You know, it's nice to get that beautiful platform and allow your boys to have fun out wide.
The Fijians making their way out again. They had a man in the bin earlier on, and that was very costly when Janiro Wakeham, the man from Stade Francais and the academy team in France, was Sinbin, the captain. Ngita from the Suri club, comes from the province of Talevu, played Fiji under 16s in 2018, so he's been part of the pathway. The mascot doesn't mind a bit of rain. Australia losing by 3 in the first round, but in the box seat in the second round match. Really very lively. The Queensland Reds, 7 Super Rugby caps. Queensland Schoolboy of the Year in 2019, the captain of Australia. The man to get us underway in the second half, Tremaine Little, son of flying Fijian Lawrence Little and cousin of flying Fijian Nicky Little.
Wonderful to see so many second generation players coming through the systems and representing their countries.
Tremaine Little gets us underway in the second half. Falls for George Gibson. Oyuochong looking for a runner. And the forwards have been pretty good. That was Amoni with the hit up. Back to Bowen. And now Fiji will look to run it. No surprise there. Savakatolo. And Wakeham. Big man, takes plenty of stopping. A pop pass out wide to Sessi. And that one's gone forward into the arms of Bitimo Nuku. So 21 is out there for Fiji, and that is Philip Basalala.
And they'll be happy with that start, will the Australians? A good kick chase line there and forcing the mistake early on from the Fijians. And allowing themselves now to attack from inside the 40. Just a couple of minutes in.
We'll look at the mistake here from Nairau. The Fiji coach, Efarimi Rawonga, 42 tests for the Flying Fijians. He was a lock. He went to 2 Rugby World Cups. What was his message at half-time?
I think it's to get some continuity, play down in Australia's half and try and hold on to the ball for as long as possible. We all know how good they are when they can keep the ball in play and execute it from there. I think it's just keeping that ball in hand and trying to play as much footy as possible.
So no changes in the Australian team at the start of the second half. But Sova, the starting scrum half for Fiji, replaced by Philip Basalala, one of 2 brothers in this team. His brother Benji is the replacement hooker if he gets on in 16. Good scrum from the junior Wallabies, and there's the dummy this time from Bowen. Took a solid hit as well, but laid it back, and then just taking his eyes off it momentarily there was Lucas Ripley, and he's coughed it up on a wet night. And Bowen's okay. Decided to have a bit of a dart on his own on that occasion. He might want to think about that next time.
Certainly running back into, or close to the forward pack, but I do like that from him. We've seen a lot of pass and kicking early on in the first half from Jack Bowen, but then he straightened the attack really well and had a crack himself and got well and truly beyond the advantage line. So I do like that from him, but good shot there from Murray, coming across extremely well with a big shot right underneath the rib cage there of Jack Bowen, but he bounced back up pretty quickly.
Zalala puts it in. And coming away with it is Nabuka Matandingo. Pick and go from Murray. Fiji parked at the wrong end of the pitch at the moment. Nairau goes to ground. Carry back, so they'll keep it in the field of play. And Greeley starts to move. The inside ball couldn't link up. So some handling errors there from the Australians.
A bit of miscommunication there from Ben Dowling. He's coming back on the inside of Matt Greeley. There's plenty of space there, but couldn't quite get the pass to hand. Instead of a mistake from the Australians and gifting a bit of field position to this Fijian side. And Jaden Blake there, caught one for his hard work.
Guys, that was both their time. All right, I'm not going to guess.
Referee from New Zealand thinks maybe.
Balance, both sides. Is that understood?
Calls the reset. You see the rain falling. It's a tough night, especially for the backs sitting out there. Not a lot to do at times.
Just for the outside backs, absolutely. Getting cold.
Short side they go. Bazalala looking to link up, and he picks up the flying Kaisao, who flings it back in, running onto it. Martin Dingo. And now the penalty, and here we go. He's going to go to the pocket. He'll go to the pocket here.
9. Senegal playing the ball on the ground.
Playing the ball on the ground is the call, and Louis Wichon has got 10 in the bin. So this is an opportunity for Fiji now. They won't worry about putting it in to the corner and setting up the driving ball. They'll just try and work their way up the middle. Pick and go here from Wakeham. Taken by Amoni. Murray putting on the step. Good defence though. Down low was Hoff. To Assesi. Poor pass. It's gone backwards, and Kaisao starts to move. Taken by Watts. Wakeham. Here's an opening now for Mailulu. The big man getting close and dots it down. In the tackle coming in from Ripley. But they are happy now, or happier at least. They're on the score sheet.
Absolutely. Fantastic work there by the Fijians. They applied a bit of pressure, and finally, 6 minutes into the second half, coming away with some points. But a great lead-up play here. Some good, strong runs. And some enterprising plays we always see from the Fijians. Great little pass there.
Petro Mailulu, too big and strong. Valiant attempt from Lucas Ripley, but it was a mismatch, weight-wise.
It certainly was, and he's probably been their best all night. Some strong carries from Mailulu. Contracted to the Bordeaux Begley in France. He's been absolutely immense for them. Excellent work rate, big, strong ball carrier, and just reward for him and all his efforts so far this evening.
A bit of chat now from the junior Wallabies. And an opportunity here for a couple of points off the kicking tee for Tremaine Little, born in Tokoroa, New Zealand. And he has the paternal links with the Dua village in Fiji. Plays for the Pakuranga Club in Auckland. And this one Will it hold its line? No, it's off the post. So you can't add the extras. But it is interesting seeing another Little trying to kick goals for Fiji. Nicky Little, 670 points for the flying Fijians over the years.
And wonderful play there from Mailulu. Been working extremely hard this evening. Great pay for him.
Bowen getting it underway again. Down to Greeley. Across to Bowen. Working with Greeley, got around a couple. So they're on the front foot again. 14-man Australian team at the moment. The scrum half, John, is in the bin. Greeley goes into the scrum half role. And now a little bit of room out wide. And here we go with Zakhoff. Cover comes across though. Pulls him down about 5 out. Charging onto it is Paddy Tag. Short by a metre or so. The Bowen from Moni offloading to Faithua. Still no way through for Hoff on that occasion. Can the Fijians hold the junior Wallabies out? Oh, so close. Gibson, short. No advantage being played there.
Yeah, whereabouts is the mark?
Some great play from a 14-man Australian team. Again, really chiming in well at the back. Showing some wonderful footwork. You see them point to their post and take some points.
5.
28 metres out.
5. 40 gone to the bin once in this game, okay? That late hit was unnecessary. No more, please, from you. Is that clear?
Wow, a final warning for De Niro Wakeham. Already has a yellow, another one, and it'll turn to red.
Taking the points, just trying to wind down the clock until they can get back to their full contingent of 15 players.
This one pretty much right in front for Jack Bowen. Would have to be the youngest in the team, 18 years of age. And that one is in off. He'll take it though.
Certainly not playing like he's the youngest in the team is Jack Bowen. Playing with extreme confidence and direction, getting this Australian team around the park. Being very busy, choosing the right options, and allowing his outside backs plenty of room to move.
Good run from Hoff out wide, dragged down, and they're playing under advantage. Eventually they come up with the three-pointer. Another change for Fiji with Little back to the bench. So Sikali Rabitu will take over the fly half duties for Fiji. Sava Katolo. A solid tackle. Good read from Dowling. Icing up and stopping Matandingo. Wakeham. Zalala. It's a good pickup by Gita. So some possession. And someone find a little bit of magic though. Find a bit of space. Osawonga. And now, Nairau having a rumble. That time, the offload, I don't think it was expected. And that's been the story of the Fijians so far in this under-20s championship. That final pass just not sticking.
Yeah, it certainly is. They're putting themselves into some wonderful positions and playing some good rugby. It's just that last pass that's letting them down. A few mistakes that in tough conditions that they probably shouldn't be making.
Changes in the front row for Australia. So, Siva Omone from the Western Force, the Associates Club in Perth. Although he's ex-Norths in Sydney as well, so already well travelled. So he's been replaced. And still some time in the bin for Louis Oichon. So a new front row for Australia. And they have immediate effect.
Great impact straight away, forcing the penalty. A good opportunity for the Australians now just to settle things. Drive the ball deep inside Fiji's half.
30 points to 5, 54 and a half gone. Bowen finds touch. Another look at the scrum there, earning the penalty. Thomas Marker is the replacement hooker. Good pedigree as well. Thomas has got a couple of uncles who we know very well. Isatola Marker. Also Finau Marker. Jaden Blake. Solid hit coming in from Malu'u. Good work from Philip Basalata to come through and put some pressure on, and eventually, after all that, Fiji will get the penalty, holding on as a call against Australia.
And Captain Ngitha there, right on top of the ball, in the turnover for his side.
Kevueli, Savakatholo. Finding touch. 21 making his way out now for Australia, and that is Teddy Wilson. Has played Super Rugby for the Waratahs, plays for the East Club in Sydney, son of Wallaby captain David Wilson. On ball to the midfield, and no room for Tuisesi or Kaisauer. Solala. It's a good take in the end. It was fired out at the 7, Murray. Pick and go. Marga holds on, makes the tackle on Nawai. Matandingo. Lucky to get away with that one. Backwards, cleaned up by Nairau. Kilevu on the ground and back finally for the clearance. And Greeley perfectly positioned. Putting on a bit of footwork, getting it out to Dowling. Back to Greeley. Penalty to Fiji.
And they'll be very good over the ball tonight, have the Fijians. They've chosen their times extremely well and forced some fantastic turnovers. Have to see them now get inside Australia's half and launch an attack. have a crack wide with their outside backs. Really start to test the defence of the Australians.
So to confirm that 21, Teddy Wilson, is out there for Wetjon, who won't be coming back from his 10-minute spell in the bin. Well, the bounce favours Australia that time, and Zach Hoff was there to clean it up. Wilson to Bowen, and one bounce into touch.
Wonderful vision there by Jack Bowen. Great settling kick. Just turning the screws on this Fijian side here.
Let's not react to anything, okay, from your boys. I've had a chat to them as well.
How good is it to be calling a Bowen in the 10 jersey? And, well, I know his old man played in the 7 jersey, David Wilson, but Teddy Wilson, 21, Wilson and Bowen. Sons of, both together for Australia.
It's pretty special.
So the Fiji forwards having a bit of a rumble. Still going outside the 22. But it comes to nothing.
Well defended more there by the Australians. Did everything right. We're very patient. Mitch Schwartz making his way through the middle there. You see a few more changes now happening for the Australians.
19 is coming on, and that is Luke Callan from the Western Force. And he'll replace Le Petit Faikfua. Healthy crowd, around 1,000 or so, on a wet and cold night. Mac Greeley seems to have handled the captaincy so far.
Certainly has, been very dominant this evening. Really stepping up and leading from the front. A few nice touches to set up a few tries.
We know what the pathway is for the Australian under-20s, Australia A. Good to see that program back in action again, and of course leading their way into the Wallabies. As for Fiji, what about their pathway? They've now got Super Rugby Pacific as well. Isn't that fantastic? Some of these youngsters would have kept an eye on the Fijian Drua in their initial year of Super Rugby Pacific. And hopefully the Drua will keep a lot of these youngsters in the Pacific and not overseas. And here's a terrific, well-worked move. Easy in the end, David Vaihu. And he has got a double for the junior Wallabies. The gap opened up and he had the speed and the nous to get through.
He certainly did there. What a fantastic line there from David Vahu. But again, it's the hands, time and pass from the man in the number 10 jersey, and Jack Bowen. Fantastic. Goes to the line wonderfully, holds it up, and just leaves the ball in front of David Vahu so he can accelerate onto the ball and find his second of the evening. Well worked from the Australians, and they'll be extremely happy with that.
Great finishing. So the two wingers, Vaihu and Dowling, have picked up 2 tries each. And it is 35 points to 5. Australia over Fiji. The Aussies looking for their first win after losing narrowly to Argentina, and they're building up to the big one against New Zealand on Sunday. There's another 2. So it is 37 points to 5.
Beautiful line there from Vahu, and a wonderful ball. He copped a pretty big shot for his efforts, did Jack Bowen, but just held it up perfectly, timed it wonderfully. And David Vahu gets the chocolates on the end of it.
Fiji with the restart. Down to Wilson, and Bowen cops another one for his efforts after the kick. Throw it in quickly, and Blake gets a toe to it. Could be real problems here for Fiji as eventually it's cleaned up by Petro Mailulu. Into touch on the far side.
Great pressure there from the Australians, forcing Fiji deep inside their own half. What a game that man had. Had he tag.
An all new front row for Australia, and at line out time.
You're going to walk in like that. I'm going to give them time to match up. Okay? We're just going to replay it.
Going to replay the line out.
We're going to give them time to match up. How many in? 6? No, 6. 6, yeah.
It's had a good game, Mangus. Maybe the taste of Super Rugby Pacific this year. The referee. Maka finds Connor Sele, and then it falls nicely in the end for Fiji. They come away with it. Wakeham hands it off to the support, but plenty of green and gold jerseys there to stop the momentum. Wakeham flings one, a wild one, out the back. Kaisau is only 1 metre out. This is real pressure now from the junior Wallabies. And claiming it there is Gibson, and he got it away, and there's the try to the replacement, Teddy Wilson. Well, that was just pressure that pays big dividends for Australia, 42 points to 5.
Certainly was. Wonderful pressure there from the Australians, getting up in the face of the Fijians, and they've been doing it all night, forcing the mistakes. And on the back of that, executing and scoring some wonderful tries. That man, Teddy Wilson, tasted some Super Rugby experience this year with the Waratahs. One to watch for the future. Wakeham there with an absolute shocker of a pass out the back. And then Wilson with the tackle. Ends up being the man to finish the job here for the Australians. I think Wakeham might have put himself in a spot of bother there, picked up an injury for his efforts. Australia extend their lead.
Typical scrum half try.
Feel like a hooker. Diving over. One of the easy ones he'll score in his career.
Caught them napping. Had to shrug off big Janiro Wakeham as well. Yeah, we're just going to have to check something here.
You just want to check something?
Yep, here's your first angle coming up now.
Not quite sure what they're looking at.
They might have thought Ben Dowling's got a hand to this one. Just making sure he doesn't knock the ball on.
Is it off the elbow there, is it?
He's kicked it into his
It's a clear
elbow.
knock on by Gold there.
Okay, so it's no try. I was playing advantage because 5 white was offside. Can you just bring up that play just before the player scores the try?
I wonder if he's
Okay, we're
going
going to roll
to
it through for you, Gus.
Thank you.
have a look at Janiro Wakeham being offside. Remember, he's already received 1 yellow card and he's on a final warning.
Yeah, I think he might find himself in a little bit of trouble. Coming for an offside position there.
Just slow that down.
We're just going to play it through again, Gus, from the knock on there.
Thank you.
So it's no try. It's a knock on by Ben Dowling, unfortunately. Gibson saw the line, and here it is here. Was it a high tackle
So just
initially?
checking, the knock-on came before that.
Wakeham.
So we're playing the scrum, white ball.
Correct.
Thank you. All right. Guys, no try. It's a knock-on, scrum, white ball.
Wakeham survives, and we're going to have a scrum.
Tough one there for the Aussies to swallow. Another opportunity comes scrum time. A bit more pressure to this Fijian side.
20 is out there for Australia, and that's Daniel Mayatha from the Rebels.
Another one who's tasted Super Rugby experience this year. Finished up with Nudgee College last year, straight into the Rebels program.
So Fiji with plenty of work to do from inside their own 22. That's Alala. Kick, I think it was touched. And then knocked on. So it worked out all right at the end for Fiji. Floyd Aubrey in jersey 23. The excitement machine is on the left wing, the bottom of your screen. He is electric, and he's on there for Matt Greeley, the captain. He's had a pretty solid knock again.
A very, very exciting young player is Floyd Aubrey. Exceptional skills, wonderful top end speed. A very, very dangerous player.
Had a good scrum from Australia, earning the penalty. Bowen will look to put it into the corner. And he does so.
Early engagement there from the Fijians.
Thomas Marker. And once again, they have it set up nicely. But short. And diving across and getting a double now is Jaden Blake. Jaden on the spot. So Teddy Wilson denied because of a knock on in the lead up. But no problem that time for Jaden Blake, who has 2 for Australia.
Wonderful effort there from the Australians. I thought they were going to get there with this rolling maul. But Thomas Marker just coming off the back and falling short himself. But Blake, pretty simple try in the end, burrowing his head and diving over for his second of the evening. It's been busy, has Jaden Blake. Wonderful, nice runs. Defended exceptionally well this evening.
And there's the 2 coming from the boot of Bowen. 44 points to 5. Australia over Fiji.
Successful conversion to number 10, Jack Bowen. And that makes the score Australia 44.
Nice and simple there from Blake.
Similar to his first try, close to the line. It's too big, plenty of momentum. Oh, that's straight work from Wilson. Just buying a bit of time. And down the short side they go. Jamie Clark